Welcome to our college briefing show. Today, we're kicking things off with BYU's thrilling victory, where Evan Johnson's incredible goal line interception and pick six helped secure a 34-13 win over East Carolina, marking their third straight 3-0 start. The game showcased BYU's tough defense and balanced offense, with fresh QB Bear Bachmeier shining. Next, we jump to Texas, where Brad Jackson led Texas State to a convincing 35-3 rivalry win over Nicholls, with 2 rushing touchdowns and a solid passing game, keeping their winning streak alive. Finally, we cover the controversial moment in Oklahoma's close call against Auburn, where SEC officials admitted a critical mistake, raising questions about officiating in college football. Please continue to watch for the full details. ESPN reports that BYU's Evan Johnson delivered a game-changing performance in their 34-13 victory over East Carolina, showcasing his defensive prowess with a crucial goal line interception followed by a swift pick six, which ignited the Cougars' momentum. Johnson's defensive mastery was instrumental in stifling ECU's offense, preventing them from reaching the end zone on multiple drives and setting the stage for BYU's offensive success, led by freshman quarterback Bear Bachmeier, who scored twice on the road. The game was a testament to BYU's disciplined defense and emerging offensive talent, with Johnson's interception and return standing out as a defining moment that underscored their third consecutive 3-0 start, a feat achieved 5 times in 6 seasons. The Toronto Star highlights the fierce rivalry clash where Texas State's Brad Jackson shined, orchestrating a dominant 35-3 win over Nicholls in the battle for the paddle. Jackson's dual-threat performance, passing for 180 yards and rushing for 2 touchdowns, exemplified his leadership on the field, complemented by a balanced rushing attack from Lincoln Pear, Torrent Burgess Jr., and Greg Burrell. Nicholls struggled offensively, with quarterback Deuce Hogan facing tough defense and throwing an interception, as Texas State's defense controlled the game. This victory marked Texas State's third straight win in the series, maintaining their lead with a 17-15 record, and served as a momentum boost before they resumed Sun Belt play after a bye week. The Toronto Star also reports a controversial officiating decision in Oklahoma's 24-17 victory over Auburn, where SEC officials acknowledged a critical missed call that could have impacted the game. A play involving Isaiah Sategna's touchdown was flagged as a deception tactic, but the SEC admitted the officiating crew misinterpreted the situation, failing to penalize Auburn for a potential unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Auburn coach Hugh Freeze expressed frustration, claiming he attempted to call a timeout before the play unfolded, but was denied. This acknowledgement of officiating error highlights the ongoing challenges in college football officiating and the importance of accurate game management, especially in high-stakes matchups like this one. The Toronto Star reports an impressive display of dominance by UTRGV in college football, where Eddie Lee Marburger threw for 223 yards and a touchdown, guiding the Vaqueros to a commanding 61-13 victory over Texas Wesleyan. The game was a showcase of UTRGV's offensive firepower, with 6 different players reaching the end zone and a collective rushing effort that amassed 283 yards on 41 carries. The team's momentum was evident as they led 40-0 at halftime, and their recent performances against NAIA opponents have been equally dominant, outscoring rivals 141-13 over the past 2 weeks. The game also featured a highlight from Texas Wesleyan's Jaden Jones, who scored a 65-yard pick-six, and Ashton Mitchell-Johnson's quick 1-yard run in the fourth quarter, providing some consolation for the underdog. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post details a tumultuous and politically charged scene in the Philippines, where President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. faces a crisis of historic proportions. Massive protests are brewing over revelations of widespread corruption linked to flood control projects, with videos exposing contractors flaunting their wealth, luxury cars, designer goods, and jet-setting lifestyles, fueling public outrage. Citizens are rallying on significant dates, including the anniversary of martial law, to demand accountability, while political tensions simmer beneath the surface. The situation is complicated by internal power struggles, with Marcos's allies reshuffling congressional alliances and fears of military meddling. External pressures mount as China signals intentions to establish a military presence at Scarborough Shoal, intensifying regional tensions and forcing Marcos to navigate a delicate balance of domestic unrest and geopolitical threats. In the realm of space exploration, the South China Morning Post reports groundbreaking findings from Chinese scientists who discovered active landslides on the moon, primarily triggered by moonquakes. Analyzing satellite images taken since 2009, researchers identified 41 new landslides, most caused by internal seismic activity rather than impacts, indicating that the moon's interior remains more active than previously believed. These landslides, mostly small and localized, pose limited hazards but highlight the importance of safety considerations for future lunar bases, especially as China plans to establish a research station at the lunar South Pole by 2035. The findings underscore the challenges of lunar surface operations, where moonquakes could cause structural damage, and emphasize the need for advanced monitoring to ensure safe exploration and long-term habitation on Earth's nearest celestial neighbor. According to the Toronto Star, Davidson's football team delivered a dominant performance against Greensboro College, with Coulter Cleland showcasing his passing prowess by throwing 3 touchdown passes. The Wildcats' offense was unstoppable, amassing 256 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns, led by Mari Adams and Mason Sheeran, who each contributed significantly on the ground. The defense also played a crucial role, forcing 5 turnovers, including 3 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries, effectively shutting out Greensboro with a commanding 48-0 victory. Despite Greensboro's efforts through their passing game, they couldn't find the end zone, highlighting Davidson's defensive strength and balanced offensive attack. In a thrilling clash reported by the Toronto Star, Prairie View A&M's ground game was the key to their narrow 27-24 victory over Northwestern State. Chase Bingmon and LaMahia McDowell powered the Panthers' rushing attack, combining for nearly 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, which kept Prairie View ahead in a tightly contested game. The team's offensive line controlled the game with nearly 350 rushing yards, and Tevin Carter contributed with efficient passing, including a crucial 56-yard touchdown run. Defensive standout Trevor Randall made 14 tackles and an interception, helping to secure the win in a game marked by fierce ground battles and strategic plays, extending Prairie View's winning streak over Northwestern State to 2 games. As reported by the Toronto Star, Georgia Southern's O.J. Arnold was the star of their 45-17 victory over Maine, demonstrating versatility with both rushing and passing touchdowns. Arnold rushed for 85 yards on 13 carries, while also throwing a 12-yard touchdown pass to Camden Brown, who also had a standout game with 118 yards receiving. The Eagles dominated offensively, outgaining Maine by 273 yards, with J.C. French contributing significantly through the air. The defense was relentless, with M.J. Stroud recording multiple tackles for loss and sacks, and Jackson Wheeler forcing a fumble. Maine, still searching for their first win, struggled to keep pace, as Georgia Southern prepared to start their Sun Belt schedule, showcasing a balanced and aggressive team effort that underscored their offensive firepower and defensive resilience. The Toronto Star vividly recounts Western Kentucky's thrilling victory over Nevada, where Lavelle Wright's dual rushing touchdowns ignited a fourth-quarter surge that sealed the 31-16 win. The game was a roller coaster, with Nevada initially taking the lead, but the Hilltoppers mounted an impressive comeback, culminating in an 87-yard drive finished by George Hart III and a decisive 50-yard onside kick return by Matthew Henry. The story captures the energy of the game, emphasizing Wright's crucial role and the strategic plays that turned the tide in Western Kentucky's favor, showcasing the drama and unpredictability of college football. In another gripping account from the Toronto Star, Coastal Carolina's Tad Hudson led a remarkable second-half rally to outshine South Alabama, winning 38-20 in a Sun Belt clash. The game was marred by costly mistakes from South Alabama, including an 11-yard punt and a pivotal interception that Coastal Carolina exploited with touchdowns. Hudson's leadership, throwing 2 second-half touchdowns, turned the game around, while Coastal's opportunistic defense and Keenan Phillips' rushing efforts kept the Chanticleers in control. The narrative highlights how turnovers and resilience shaped the outcome, illustrating the high stakes and intensity of college football battles. The Toronto Star also vividly describes Virginia's dominant 48-20 victory over Stanford, where Trell Harris's 3 first-quarter touchdown catches set the tone for an offensive onslaught. Chandler Morris shined with 380 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, but Virginia's relentless offense and stingy defense proved too much for Stanford. The Cavaliers' ability to rack up 590 yards and contain Stanford's star running back Micah Ford exemplifies their offensive firepower and defensive resilience. The story captures the excitement of Virginia's high-powered performance and hints at their promising season ahead, emphasizing the impact of their offensive explosion and strategic dominance on the field. According to the Toronto Star, Teva Pharmaceuticals showcased promising long-term safety data from their Phase 3 Solaris trial for olanzapine LAI, TEV 749, a novel once-monthly subcutaneous formulation aimed at treating schizophrenia. Remarkably, throughout 56 weeks of observation, no cases of post-injection delirium sedation syndrome, PDSS, were reported, highlighting a significant safety milestone. The trial's results reinforce olanzapine LAI's potential as the first long-acting olanzapine option that could fill a crucial gap in schizophrenia management, especially for patients who struggle with daily oral medication adherence. The data also demonstrated maintained symptom improvement, with stable reductions in PANSS and CGIS scores, alongside manageable weight gain and metabolic effects comparable to existing formulations. Meanwhile, the study emphasized olanzapine LAI's safety profile, with common adverse events being weight increase, injection site reactions, and somnolence, all consistent with second-generation antipsychotics. Parallel to this, Teva presented data on Uzedy, a risperidone-based extended-release injectable, which was associated with shorter hospital stays and higher clinician preference due to its ease of administration and dosing flexibility, further underscoring Teva's commitment to innovative mental health treatments. The South China Morning Post reports on South Korea's bold legislative move to ban smartphone use in primary and middle schools, a policy driven by mounting concerns over digital addiction and its detrimental effects on youth mental health and development. The law, supported by scientific evidence indicating that excessive screen time hampers brain development and emotional growth, grants school authorities the power to confiscate or restrict phones, aiming to create a more focused learning environment. Despite widespread acceptance among schools already enforcing strict policies, critics argue the law infringes on students' constitutional rights and overlooks the importance of fostering conflict resolution skills through dialogue rather than legal enforcement. Experts link the proliferation of smartphone overuse to issues like cyberbullying, deepfake pornography, and academic pressure, which compel students to seek solace in their devices amid intense competition and rigorous study routines. Many students see their phones as vital escapes from stress, especially during the high-stakes Sanyang University entrance exam, raising questions about whether the legislation addresses underlying societal pressures or merely imposes a restrictive solution. Meanwhile, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation shares a poignant story of cultural remembrance and truth-telling at Carnarvon's Aboriginal Reserve, which was forcibly evacuated after devastating floods in 1980. The project, led by anthropologist Dennis Gray and local elders like Clifton Lockyer and Kath Ryan, seeks to preserve the community's history through a documentary that captures oral histories, archival footage, and personal memories. These stories reveal a community deeply affected by colonization, segregation, and displacement, with many residents recalling a vibrant cultural life that was abruptly interrupted by the flood and subsequent removal to Mungala village. The loss of the reserve has left a lasting impact on cultural identity, language, and community cohesion, with elders expressing a longing to reconnect with their ancestral land and restore their cultural practices. This effort underscores the importance of truth-telling and collective memory in healing historical wounds, offering a powerful reminder of the resilience of Indigenous communities and the ongoing need for recognition and reconciliation. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Great dragon breaks ancient streets, leading change with modern beats. Cities rise and towers peak, new dawn breaking bold and sleek. From the Great Wall to Shanghai, progress moves as kites fly high. Tech and trade, it's all to play, future shines brighter every day. Great dragon will change, the cars marching strong with mighty force. New era, new wave, fast-paced day, history made in full display. Politicians make their plea, voices blend in harmony. Policies for growth and peace, ambitions never cease. Dreams of silk and digital, bridging gaps from old to new. Fortunes build and bonds renew, nations strengthen, bold review. Traditions hold, but minds explore, east meets west and knowledge door. Complex world they navigate, China's power demonstrates. From the Great Wall to Shanghai, progress moves as kites fly high. Tech and trade, it's all the play, future shines brighter every day. Great dragon roars, change the course, marching strong with mighty force. New era, new way, fast-paced day, history made in bold display. Politicians make their plea, voices blend in harmony. Policies for growth and peace, ambitions their growth and peace. New era, new way, fast-paced day, history made in bold display. History made in bold display. Politicians make their plea, voices blend in harmony. Policies for growth and peace, ambitions never cease. Dreams of silk and digital, bridging gaps from old to new. Fortunes build and bonds renew, nations strengthen, bold review. Traditions hold but minds explore, east meets west and knowledge door. Complex world they navigate, China's power never cease. Dreams of silk and digital, bridging gaps from old to new. Fortunes build and bonds renew, nations strengthen, bold review. Traditions hold but minds explore, east meets west and knowledge door. Complex world